Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Nguyen Duc Trung, directs response to storm number 3 and severe flooding.
Next negotiation round between Russia and Ukraine, scheduled for tonight, July 23rd.
Regarding the abolition of construction permits.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news. I'm Hoàng Yến, and here we go, the first step of the show. With the complex situation of the storm number 3 and severe flooding in western Nghệ An, this afternoon, Secretary of Provincial Party Committee Nguyễn Thị Minh Khai just chaired a meeting with the Provincial Committee for Disaster Prevention, Search and Rescue and Civil Defense to direct the response measures.
As of early afternoon on July 23rd, the damage reports are incomplete because many areas are isolated and out of communication. So far, there have been 3 confirmed deaths, 1 person missing and 4 injured. Over 3,200 houses have been flooded or washed away, and there are 45 locations on national and provincial roads affected by landslides. Additionally, 56 areas are flooded, causing traffic blockages, and 3 suspension bridges have been swept away. Nearly 1,200 households have been evacuated to safety. The hardest hit areas are in the districts of Khai Son, Tuong Duong, Con Quang, Quay Phong, and Quai Chau. Given the forecast of continued severe flooding with record water levels, Secretary Nguyen Duc Trung emphasized the need for proactive response measures and urged caution to ensure the safety and property of the people. He highlighted the importance of informing and encouraging residents to strictly follow safety plans, warning against complacency that could lead to further damage after the floods. He also requested that armed forces be deployed promptly to assist residents in recovery efforts and to address environmental issues as soon as the water recedes, ensuring hygiene and preventing disease outbreaks after the floods.
According to a Turkish source, the next round of negotiations between Russia and Ukraine is expected to take place tonight, July 23rd, in Istanbul, Turkey.
The talks between the Russian and Ukrainian delegations are planned to occur at the Siragan Palace at 7 p.m. Moscow time, 11 p.m. Hanoi time. However, the exact time and location are still being finalized by the involved parties. This upcoming round, anticipated to be the 3rd, is expected to take place within a single day. Previously, 2 direct negotiation rounds were held in Istanbul, yielding some concrete results, including prisoner exchanges and the transfer of deceased Ukrainian soldiers' bodies. Both sides have also exchanged draft agreements aimed at finding a comprehensive solution to the ongoing conflict.
U.S. President Donald Trump has announced that U.S. will impose a 15% tariff on imports from Japan, while the Philippines and Indonesia will face a reciprocal tariff of 19%.
According to CNN, on July 22nd, President Trump revealed that a major trade agreement with Japan has been finalized, which includes Tokyo investing $550 billion in the U.S. in exchange for the 15% tariff. We just completed what may be the largest deal ever with Japan. This agreement will create hundreds of thousands of new jobs and boost exports of cars, rice, and many other products. This is a great time for America as we continue to maintain strong relations with Japan, Trump stated. On the same day, he announced the new 19% tariff on goods imported from the Philippines following the visit of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to the White House. Additionally, Trump provided more details on the 19% reciprocal tariff agreement with Indonesia.
Upcoming are some updated news.
The National Steering Committee for Disaster Prevention and Control reports that Typhoon number 3 and subsequent floods have damaged 420 houses in several provinces, with over 119,000 hectares of rice flooded. The worst hit areas include Ninh Bình, Hưng Yên, and Thanh Hoa. Additionally, a 20-meter crack has formed along the right embankment in Ja Pok, Hanoi. Currently, 21 villages in Tuong Duong, Nghệ An, are completely cut off. One person in Nghệ An province has died due to the flooding, and National Route 7A is submerged, making it impassable in some sections. The Ban V hydropower plant reservoir basin has experienced exceptionally high flooding. Forecasts predict that the lower reaches of the CA River will continue to rise until July 25th, posing a significant risk of widespread flooding in the region.
On the afternoon of July 22nd at the government headquarters, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh met with Yukihito Honda, CEO of Sumitomo's Urban Development Division. The Prime Minister praised Sumitomo's investment projects in Vietnam and urged the group to expand its investment activities in the country with faster and more effective implementation. He highlighted areas where Sumitomo has strengths, including infrastructure, finance, real estate, transportation, railways, electronics, chemicals, high-tech agriculture, industrial zones, smart cities, logistics, digital transformation, and green transition.
The Vietnam Trade Office in San Francisco announced that in July 2025, Dragonberry Produce, a leading importer of premium agricultural products in the U.S., will distribute Bac Ninh lychee in the American market through major supermarket chains. This marks the first time Vietnamese lychee has been available on the shelves of Costco, the largest retail supermarket chain in the U.S. and Canada, with 635 locations. This is the third consecutive year that Dragonberry has introduced this specialty fruit to the U.S., highlighting its strong growth in the international market.
As urbanization accelerates, the demand for construction projects and housing is rising, highlighting the need for enhanced state management of construction regulations, including the issuance of building permits. In light of discussions about abolishing these permits, it's important to understand the implications, which situations are exempt from the requiring a permit and which still need to go through the permitting process. Let's delve into this topic.
Currently, many citizens believe that starting from July 1st, 2025, when constructing buildings or homes, households will no longer need to apply for construction permits due to the government's directive to abolish them.
I've heard about the government allowing the abolition of construction permits, but I'm unsure how the authorities will handle any issues that may arise in the future.
However, the reality is that the information regarding the abolition of construction permits is being misunderstood by the public and is not entirely accurate. The removal of construction permits only applies to specific cases. All other situations still require obtaining a construction permit before commencing any work.
Everyone building a house must apply for a construction permit, except for projects that have been planned at a 1/500 scale and those that have had their technical designs approved.
The general trend and directive from the government is to minimize procedures related to construction permits, especially in areas with clear detailed planning. The goal is to shift from a request grant mechanism to a management approach based on planning, standards, and strict post-inspection. This also requires authorities to enhance solutions that facilitate the permit application process for citizens.
The last story just ended our program today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye and see you later.